Hello and welcome to Hope and Faith. I'm Jennifer and I make videos about healing from narcissistic abuse. I share with you my healing journey. In today's video, I will be sharing my experience with a session of dance movement therapy. I will be speaking at length and in detail about the entire experience and what it did for me. Shame after narcissistic abuse can affect your life in many ways. Most of the times, it is so subtle that you do not even realize that you are coming from a place of shame. When my dance movement therapist asked me, what emotion will I be choosing to work on in this session of therapy, I chose shame because I clearly remember when I was growing up, my narcissistic mother would use shame as a weapon against me, and I ended up embodying and absorbing this emotion of shame, which till this date is a huge part of me. So I did this session of dance movement therapy, which was directed at working on shame. The shame I was feeling had a profound impact in the way I was feeling about myself, and it still does. And this has come to express itself in my daily interactions with everyone. My therapist started off the session by asking me, which part of my body did I feel that I stored this feeling of shame? We started off the session with some music, and she asked me to move around the room, and she was mirroring every move of mine. It was like I was watching this other person imitate what I was doing. This is how the session started. She then asked me to move around and show me what my shame felt like through movement, which I did. It was this really constricted but a powerful movement where I was holding my own neck and moving, but I was not able to take a whole range of motion because the shame was constricting me. So this is how I expressed what shame felt like, and followed by a movement which expressed this shame. While I was doing this, my therapist was imitating my every move and mirroring what I was doing. After some few movements where I used some music and mirroring to express what shame felt like in my body, we stopped and we sat down to draw. She asked me to draw a very simple drawing of my own self and where the parts in my body where I felt this shame was stored. Both the times while I was moving to express shame and at the time when I was drawing to express shame, I felt a lot of new and fresh feelings of shame, or I would have to say that it was a very sharp feeling of shame that came up for me, and it made me really uncomfortable. I felt that it was constricting my throat muscles and that I was not able to breathe properly. I was really uncomfortable while expressing shame through movement and drawing. After the drawing and movement therapy, we started another round of dance therapy. And this round of dance therapy was to counter the shame I had felt in the first round. This round of therapy was a little different as the therapist was asking me questions about who I really thought I was when I mingle and converse, and deal with people that I love. She was asking me about my qualities that I specifically feel when I'm with my loved ones. I told her about kindness, love, compassion, empathy, genuineness. I told her all about these qualities. She took every word of these qualities I listed, which I feel when I'm with the ones that I love. She asked me to express every quality through movement. I expressed compassion through dance movement. I expressed empathy through dance. I expressed loving kindness and being genuine through movement. It was in this round that I started to feel a tinge of relief while moving, because I started feeling like myself. In this round of dance movement therapy, my therapist was mirroring every movement of mine while she was reminding me what emotion we were moving through. After some time of movement, expressing these emotions to counter shame, we stopped to assess how I was feeling. I told her about the shift I felt at the time when we were processing the positive emotions. She asked me if there was any particular track that was running in my mind during this session. I told her that despite having music playing, there was a specific track playing in my mind during this whole time. She wanted me to write the specific particular lyrics of the song down in next to my drawing. So I wrote down Billie Eilish's Welcome Home, and it was only the chorus that was running through my mind the whole time I was doing this dance movement therapy. The funny thing is, even though there was music and there were so many emotions coming up, I had the specific song, the specific part of the song run through my mind the entire time. And it's funny how the dance movement therapist, she even happened to inquire about it. And now I don't know if this happens to everyone, but it happened to me. So I wrote the following lyrics down. Thought I found a way out, but you never go away. So I guess I gotta stay now. Oh, I hope someday I'll make it out of here, even if it takes all night or 100 years. Need a place to hide, but I can't find one near. Wanna feel alive? Outside, I can't fight my fear. Isn't it lovely, all alone? Heart made of glass, my mind of stone. Tear me to pieces, skin to bone. Hello, welcome home. Hello, welcome home. This song, these particular words kept running through my mind the whole time I was doing this dance movement therapy session. These lines from the song kept repeating themselves to me over and over again. Now, I want to put the popular interpretation of the song aside because my therapist asked me to do this. And she said, I want you to interpret what these lyrics mean to you. So I wrote down the interpretation of these lyrics for myself, which was, it described how I struggled to heal all along. Because the song even goes, thought I found a way out. So it speaks about the struggle I feel to heal, but you never go away. So how I interpreted that is, no matter how hard I tried, the trauma always re-emerges in one shape or form or another. So I guess I gotta stay now is the lyrics, which I interpreted as, no matter how much healing I do, it always re-emerges. So I just have to stay with this now. Then the lyrics go, I hope someday I'll make it out of here, which speaks about the hope I still have to be able to heal this trauma. Even if it takes all night or 100 years, again, the lyrics, which I interpret as even if it takes, no matter how long it takes, years and years of healing, I will still go all the way in order to heal. And then the song goes, need a place to hide, but I can't find one near. This also speaks about how sometimes I just feel like running away from this healing that I need to do, and that I want to hide from this, this monster that I find so hard to face sometimes. Then the song goes, wanna feel alive outside, I can't fight my fear. This is how I feel about my trauma, that I want to feel alive, that I want to be okay, but I can't fight the fear of my trauma. And then the song goes, isn't it lovely all alone? Healing from trauma is an isolating journey. It isolates you, and it's only when you isolate yourself can you heal. I know that you cannot heal in isolation and that you need reconnection, but most of your healing journey, to be honest, happens when you're on your own. Heart made of glass, my mind of stone, tear me to pieces, skin to bone. This speaks about the state of my mind and the state of my body. It perfectly describes how, my heart is made of glass. It just shatters every time I try to access my grief or the shame or any other emotion that I try to process. It breaks my heart, literally. And my mind of stone, which is, I feel stuck. I feel like I'm stuck in this situation, even though the healing is there, even though situation is changing and circumstances are changing. I do feel like I'm this pillar of stone and I'm stuck in this situation, which is what the song says, my mind of stone. Tear me to pieces, skin to bone, which is, I interpret it as, healing can be, this whole journey of catharsis where you transform. It literally shreds you into pieces. Healing is tougher than the moment when you got hurt, the moment when you suffered the trauma. So tearing me to pieces, skin to bone, that's what healing from trauma feels like for me. And then, hello, welcome home. But in all of this that I have described, I feel I'm coming back to myself in the end. I'm becoming more and more of my authentic self, my true self. So, yes, hello, welcome home. So these lines from the song kept repeating themselves to me over and over again during the therapy session, even though there was a completely different song playing in the session. The whole experience was extremely emotional for me. It truly brought up every emotion I worked with. I met my shame. When I expressed my shame through dance movement, it came up and I felt it in its entirety. I became so emotional and I felt so broken at the time when I expressed it. But to counter this, we did the whole positive qualities expression as well. I happened to feel every emotion of the positive qualities as well. So towards the end of my session, I did feel a shift, even though the shift was something that I felt only for 1 minute. Exactly 1 minute. It did not last more than that. What I felt in that 1 minute was the old Jennifer, the Jennifer who existed before this trauma tore through her entire being. So I felt like myself. No shame, no dissociation, no disconnection from myself or reality. For that whole minute, I felt connected to myself and I felt like my genuine self. I told my therapist about this and she was of the opinion that this is what dance movement therapy does for you. It helps you get in touch with yourself at your very core. Music and movement is truly healing. It grounds you. It connects you and makes you come in touch with your emotions, which you have been avoiding and making excuses to come face to face with. It makes you express them, not only feel them, but also express them in ways which will not disturb you mentally or emotionally when you feel them. You might have a release like I did. I did not cry, but I did feel profound sadness. And this sadness is what kept bringing up the Billie Eilish's Welcome Home song in my head. At the end of the class, I felt relieved and lighter, like I was able to express something which was lying silently within me. And it was finally getting an opportunity to leave me in one way, I could say. Expression releases something from you. I hope my video was something that you could follow and understand what my experience was all about. I have tried my level best to explain, put the whole session into words, and I hope you have something to take away from it. Maybe even try a session of dance movement therapy, because when you dance, there is an alignment which happens between your hypothalamus, your pituitary, and your adrenal. It's called the HPA axis. And when these three things align through dance, it is known to heal you of your trauma. It's scientifically proven. You can always look up HPA axis if you really want to know more. The shift that I felt at the end of my dance movement therapy session was a confirmation for me that I need more and more of these sessions. And I prefer these sessions to talk therapy, because after talking about my trauma, I only feel activated. My traumas feel activated. But with this session, this therapy session of dance movement, I felt relief towards the end of it. Even if it was just 1 minute of feeling like my authentic self, where I felt connected, it was worth it. It was definitely better than talk therapy. Thank you very much for listening to me.